Yolan Chu and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy. And today I want to give you a quick overview about what happens when you go Op 61. I will not do that in detail with the hazard systems and refineries and stuff, because that I will do with single videos, because it's really a lot that's happening. I will do it about what happens to building and everything you have to do around that. I will do that tomorrow before I get to all the new stuff from the new arc. And then after all those new videos, I will continue with research and refineries, etc. But today we just take a quick look, as I said. And it starts with getting to Op 61. And to get to Op 61 itself isn't that bad, because when you are Op 60, you just get a token with which you can go to Op 61. You don't need any big material amounts or whatever. You just need those tokens. It's like the Ascension key to 50, and it's quite easy. But the hard part is to get to Op 60, because you need to upgrade all your main buildings to a level 59. I don't mean partial generators H or whatever, but the main ones. You all have to get them to 59, including all your platforms and everything, to get to level 60, and that's the hard part. 61 after 60 is the easy part. But as I said in my brand new ships videos, you should be prepared before you go to Op 61. For example, I rushed it a bit to make those videos, but I should have waited until I have at least one tier 7 epic 5-star ship. I went a little bit earlier, but with that I can show you with my dailies how many dailies I couldn't do at the moment. Never mind the Romulans, I'm not getting the Romulans at the moment. But if you look here, there are a lot of dailies I didn't do because I can't do them, especially the hazard things here, because those enemies are far too strong. The faction hostiles, the lowest ones on Op 61, are 4 billion targets. And of those, I cannot kill a single one at the moment, even with my mission boss crews. My mission boss crews help me to kill mission bosses up to 3.6, 3.8 billion at the moment, but the 4 billion faction hostiles are really strong. And those you find in 6-star space, and that's space that you already see, but you will have locked paths there, and those paths are now open for me. And those are the systems here in the back. There are more Federation systems, more Romulan systems, and more Klingon systems. And for those, you need a lot of warp range. If we just have a look for a level 62 system here in Fed space, then you see what I mean. It requires a warp range of 1000. This one requires, no, still 1000, but we should continue with 1100. And those are warp ranges where you also need to upgrade your main ships. The good thing is that for once, the Enterprise NX-01 is really something that brings you very, very far here in this game, because I can reach a lot of places with my NX-01 just to explore them, to see what's there. That's why, for example, I already know what's in this level 66 system here in the Federation, and I did that because there are high-level systems. Oh no, the 67 I meant. There are high-level systems with 6-star materials, and that's another change that you get. Now there are 6-star materials, and this is a housing system as well. So it's something without all the new hazard stuff that comes in. I talked about this before when we talked about the asteroid fields and so on quickly in a video before, but you know this from Omega Space already. here are now in the 6-star space the hazard systems. In this case, for example, it's radiation. And I talked about this when I talked about the 6-star ship previews that I did, that there are those systems out here. And you still want to have those materials, and that's where the NX-01 comes into play, because here my ships would be destroyed very fast. But here, this is not a hazard system, and it's a housing system, so you can reach it with your NX-01, and if you've been there once, you can use the ability of the NX-01 just to look into the system, because you see it's one of those systems you cannot always look into, and then just move your base there. And then you can mine 6-star gas in this example. And we have the same with the Romulans and with the Klingons. You see that are also, have to get closer, have a level 67 Romulan system here, and there you have no hazard and you have ore, and I have the same with the Klingons. And so that's at least something where from the start you will be able to mine a bit. Here we have the crystal one without hazard, to mine a bit without being in big trouble, because there is already materials in the neutral 61 plus systems. I switched to mining view for a second. You see that here they need a lower warp range. Here you just need a warp range of 900 to get there, and you can also mine, but it only works for gas and for ore. And at the moment when I was there the last time, there was only gas and no ore. That must be those switching nodes as well. And more to the south, there are more systems like this. The crystal and gas system, once again, is a hazard system, so your ship would be destroyed there. So you want to have a way of doing that without being destroyed. So send your NX-01 out there to find the non-hazard housing mining systems. In each faction there is one, as I've shown you already. But we need to talk about those neutral systems, because you see something here. And that's your savior if you did what I did, to go to 61 without a ship that's strong enough to fight the faction hostiles, to at least do some of your dailies. And this is Gorn space, because I can defeat those level 61 Gorn, but I cannot defeat a level 61 faction ship. So the Gorn are weaker with my ship that cannot kill a single faction hostile on 61. I can kill 8 Gorn ships here on level 61, and so that brings me through some of the dailies, and this has a warp range of 900 only, so you will be there earlier. My Rotaran, as you can see, has a warp range of 982 at the moment, and even on the next level it will only be 1030, so I still cannot reach the 1100 systems, where I have to do a lot of more hostiles for missions. But the Gorn system here is the important one for you to get started with level 61 hostiles, because those are the easiest. There are, of course, hostiles here in the neutral 61 systems, but first of all, there's often hazard as well. Here's another 61, and there are some without hazard, but still they are stronger. So the Gorn are really where you should get started to do some dailies, at least partly. But once again, I've shown you the dailies I cannot do, but still I can complete enough dailies to open all my chests, to get my token for my weekly exchange, and with that then the tokens for my monthly exchange. And that's the important part. Don't go there if you cannot do your dailies anymore. That's what I always said about upgrading the ops, and that's why I decided for the videos I will go a little bit earlier, knowing that I cannot kill the faction hostiles, but I knew that I could still do enough dailies to get all my chests open, etc. And with that I mean the ones on the top here. You see I need 270 points and I got them all. And that's the point that you have to keep in mind. As long as you can do that, you can rush it a bit like me as well. But I would suggest wait for a tier 7 5-star epic. That's my suggestion here. But the most important part, and I will not, as I said, I will talk about the hazard systems, what you can do against them and everything in a single video. But in this overview, I want to mention something that's really important and that you can see right here. In these systems, you get a load of new missions. You can start collecting missions again. In most of the systems here in 6-star space, you will find mission planets. They are already on the list that I have on Discord. I had them on the list before, but now I started doing them. I only do neutral and Klingon ones because I want to continue working on my Klingon reputation. But you find them in the Federation space and Romulan space and in the neutral systems here, and there are loads. And it's really good to do them because I got a lot of material. You see, I've got 1.2 million Sigma par steel. And one of the reasons was the missions I did. I'm low on Sigma Tritanium, but that has to do with another thing that's quite important. Level 61 means you will need loads of Tritanium again. In general, with the missions and everything, and the amounts of Tritanium you suddenly need, and all the flight times here. I mean, if you have a look, my Rotaran already needs 4 minutes to the Gorn system, let alone what times we need in the systems that are further out. Here it's 5 minutes, but my Annex 01 needs about 10 minutes to get to that level 67 system, and I've got a lot of research, and the whole thing feels like being Ops 5 again. So going Ops 61 means a little bit like going back in time, because I have the same feeling I had 2.5 years ago when I started on this server. Everything is slow with the flight times. When you look out there, of course, I can move my base there, but no ship can leave the 67 system. So I only go there for mining if I have to, but I don't have to do that anymore. I just built a Selkie this morning, and so I'm mining without that problem. But it was a problem in the beginning, and so I did move to those systems before I had the Selkie. So the Selkie is another important part we will talk about later in another video. But it really feels like restarting the game. The flight times are really long. The mining times are really long. If you look at the amounts you can mine in the 6-star system, so I just click another mine. You see, I can mine 14,815 per hour. When was the last time you've seen amounts like that? If I would mine on a 5-star node, that would be kind of sucked dry within minutes. But here it's 14,815 per hour. And so you have to get used to, it's like Throwback Monday, that everything seems like you're starting the game over again. All the new systems, this payload of new missions, the slow or the long flight times, the slow mining times, it's all as if I'm playing on my Ops 12 account now, just further out in the galaxy and with higher numbers on it, like 6-star. But that is really kind of a restart for me. You know, it's the first time I went to Ops 61 because it didn't exist when I was playing on the other servers in the years before. So they brought it into the game after I started on this server. And so this is all new to me as well. Of course, I know a lot already, and that I will talk about in the videos. I'm talking a lot to people from my alliance that are higher and have been in that space for much longer. Because they invested more into this game, and so it's very interesting. But it's really kind of a bit of a restart of the game from a lot of perspectives. And so it will be interesting. But the missions, the first missions in those systems I was talking about, they are quite doable. And so, like in the beginning of the game, do your missions, get material, get reputation, and by the way, they drop artifacts as well, or at least artifact shards. So that's quite nice too. If we look at the missions, we will talk about them in a little bit more detail as well. But of course, when I want to show you, I don't find one of those with the artifacts. That's because I picked up so many. But there you see there you can get 10 Mukul devices, but they're much better, and I got really nice ones already. At least shards of those. There's Wolf's de Tach, 10 of those, and so on. So there's a lot of nice stuff there in the missions. So try to do your missions. I could do a lot of them right from the start when I went into the Ops 61 system, so the 6-star systems, and they gave me a lot of starting material. So that is quite nice. But in general, you will have to deal with a lot of new stuff. And as I said, today is just an overview, and I will not talk about any details. So you can not drop it to write some measure. Oh, it's Saturday. You don't need to write messages about you didn't explain this or this or this. No, I'm not going to in this video. That's where other videos come in. But the Saturday is a good part as well, by the way. I'm filming on Saturday today because we will have 2 days of maintenance. When you see this video, the maintenance will be over, or at least the first one, but maintenance on Monday and maintenance on Tuesday. Would be great if they really would repair something during those days, but I rather think there will be a lot of new stuff brought into, like the new building we will have to talk about very soon. But that's the reason why I have to work all Saturday, and you can imagine after Halloween and a bank holiday, where I already had to work because of a very full next week and a new arc, that I'm still quite tired. And you probably can hear that when I try to speak English. But nevertheless, coming back to, it's just an overview here and there. We will, that you know how many stuff there will be that we will talk about. We will talk about a new refinery for the Sigma resources. We will talk about changes in other refineries. We will talk about a lot of new research. We will talk about new research that comes in with the Selkie. And that's why I say it's like a complete restart of the game. And I know I'm repeating myself, but you will be very busy doing things once you went to Ops 61. But I think I'll leave it here. Tomorrow we will go a little bit into detail why building also changes a lot when you go to this Ops level. And I have a lot of more to show you in the next, let's say in November. Don't know how much will come in with a new arc. So in November we'll definitely talk about a lot of details for Ops 61. But a lot will be new arc first. Today I don't say about commenting on the details of the video, because I didn't give you details, because that was on purpose, as I said. But nevertheless, for everyone who's not on Discord yet, I also wanted to say, have a look in the pinned comment. There you see how you can get to Discord. And if you want to see another video, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.